Today we're talking about black and white photographs. Why would you do it, and how do you make your pictures sing?
Ask David Bergman.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Ask David Bergman. I'm David Bergman answering your photography questions. Listen, don't forget to go to askdavidbergman.com. Ask your own photo questions. I'll pick the best ones and answer them right here on a future show. But for today, I've got one from Tyler K, and he asks, what steps do you take when you convert an image to black and white? Do you just click the black and white button in your photo editor, or is the process more involved and nuanced? Black and white photography. Ooh, I love making pictures black and white. Now, how would you do it? Well, first of all, is it better to shoot in black and white right in the camera? I say no. I think it's better to just capture everything in color, and then you have the option afterward in the computer to post-process however you want. It gives you a lot more flexibility and a lot more options. Now, why would you shoot black and white? Well, me personally, I've been on the road all year with Luke Combs on tour, and I often make my pictures black and white, and there's really two main reasons why I do it. The first one is when the color doesn't really add anything to the image. There may be color there, but it really doesn't help in any way. So for example, this picture of our multi-instrumentalist Kurt, he's playing the banjo, and there's really not a whole lot of color in the image. It's kind of not very saturated. There's a little bit of blue in the background, but it doesn't really add anything. So if you go ahead and convert this to black and white, it really makes it pop off the screen a lot more. It gets more contrasty, the highlights look great, the lights really flare out, and what it does is you're not distracted by any other color that's in the image. You're really just seeing the true frame and what's happening in the image without being distracted by any of those other colors. So that's one reason why I might go black and white. The other reason really is when the light that's there is actually kind of bad, right? So for example, in a lot of concerts they use these LED lights that are magenta or a weird blue color, and sometimes they don't really reproduce well in pictures. And in this case, we have this picture where there's those magenta lights that are hitting Luke's skin and his hat and his arm, and it really doesn't help the image. It actually kind of makes it a little bit nasty, right? So I really don't want that color. Now, I could go in there and selectively pick that color out and try to desaturate it, but the other thing I can do is just make the image black and white. A lot of times if you're shooting, let's say, a concert in a club, there might be one red spotlight on the subject, and that's the only color you're seeing is that red color, and it's really pretty nasty. So you can make that black and white. In this case, if I just switch that picture over to black and white, it really pops off the screen. Like I said, you can see the spotlight popping out, and you can concentrate on Luke's facial expression and just the action that's going on without being thrown off by any weird colors. So how do you make a picture black and white? Well, there really are a lot of different ways to do it. I'm going to show you three methods that can be used. The first one, let's take this picture of Luke popping his head out of the tour bus. Now, this picture I probably wouldn't make in black and white, obviously, because the color is so dynamic, but there was this crazy sunset happening, and I popped a little flash in on Luke, and I underexposed the sky, and it made it look really, really cool, which it was to the naked eye as well. It was just to reproduce it, that's how I would do it. So what Tyler asked in the question was about just clicking the black and white button. Well, in most cases what that means is coming in this is in Photoshop, there's similar controls in Lightroom, but just going to the mode switch, and instead of RGB color, switching over to grayscale. And by doing that, it just basically gets rid of all the color, and it's kind of like gray, right? It's really flat, not very contrasty. That sky is just kind of boring. You can still see a little bit of what's happening there, but it just doesn't have much pop to it. So that's the default way that people sort of first start to use. But there is a better way where if you come under here under image and you go to adjustments and black and white. Now this black and white adjustment, you can see what it does. It brings up a dialog box that gives you a whole bunch of different colors. Now why are there colors there? What this does is you can selectively pick the colors that are originally in the image and then make those lighter and darker. So remember we had all those reds and oranges in the sky. By taking this red slider and making it darker, I'm actually darkening only the reds in the picture. Conversely, I can go the other way and make those reds white. So obviously, by going through the different colors and making adjustments however I want, I can selectively change the color. This is just not not doing a very good job here, but that just gives you an idea of the level of control that it gives you, and you can really go in. You can also use your eyedropper tool here and select a color on the image and then slide it back and forth that way. And that's kind of an easier way rather than guessing what colors the slider is going to select. So that really is a great way to go in and pick exactly how you want to convert your image, because the computer doesn't know which colors to make brighter and darker. So for example, if you were shooting a scene where you had a lot of trees, you could choose to make the green leaves on the trees darker or lighter in your black and white conversion. There's actually one more way to do it, and this is the way that I do on tour. I use a plugin. It used to be made by Nik Software, and now it is taken over by DxO, and thankfully they've brought this program back to life. It's part of the, used to be the Nik Collection, and it's called Silver Effects Pro. And that program, what it does, they've actually taken film profiles and made them into presets. So the initial presets here, you've got, of course, your neutral, but then there are, I don't know, dozens of presets here, and you can come in, there's a low-key preset here, there's a push processing preset. These are all kind of based on old film styles. There are more sepia toned and different ways you can go with that. And then when you find something you like, you can also go in and make all kinds of different adjustments here. I'm not going to go through every single one of them because there are many, but I actually have one where I got it looking exactly how I want it, and then I've saved that recipe as a custom preset. So all I have to do is click that, and it's pretty cool how I like my images. And then you can adjust the brightness a little bit if you want. You want to bring that image up just a tad. Structure is kind of like clarity in Photoshop. You can bring that up or down. That really makes those clouds pop out a little more. So that's how I do my black and white images on tour. It's the fastest way. I think it's great quality, and it works really, really well. So hey, that gives you an idea of the many things you can do to create great black and white pictures. Thanks so much for that question. Don't forget, if you have a photo question, go to AskDavidBergman.com. I also have a lot of my old episodes on there and my gear. I have links to everything that I use. So there's also great photography educational things from a bunch of other photographers right here on Adorama TV's YouTube channel. So I hope you'll subscribe and check all those out. Don't forget, come back here next week for Ask David Bergman. I'll have a new question then. I'll see you back here next time.